this is news that's just been created out of thin air. They're like, hey, let's go poll Canadians and find out how dangerous their views are and how extreme they are and how racist they are and how crazy they are. It's all pre-positioning so that the Trudeau government can come out with their position saying, hey guys, we need to regulate the internet. If we don't regulate the internet, look at how much more divided our society will be. Look at all these crazy people. There's just going to become more craziness, more instability. And it's all working in lockstep with Trudeau to further his policy agenda. But I think what they're doing is really, really dangerous, because what they're also doing, Harrison, is telling Canadians not to trust their neighbor, not to trust their fellow compatriots, saying, that person that you think you're friends with, a coworker, or someone that you see at the coffee shop every day, or some, your kid's parent, your kid's friend's parent. These people are probably racist. They probably have a conspiracy laden worldview. They probably believe that the election was stolen for Donald Trump. They probably support Donald Trump. We saw this as a story that came out last week from the same pollsters, the same series. Legacy Media claims 40%. The National Post headline says millions of Canadians believe in a white replacement theory. Millions of Canadians see the same polling company, their Abacus data. And again, they surveyed 1,500 people online, and they extrapolate from that millions of Canadians must be racist. And the way that they got that theory, I know you talked about this last week with Andrew Lawton, but the question was that 1/3 of Canadians believe in the so-called white replacement theory, that 37% of respondents, representing 11 million Canadians, agreed with this statement. This was a statement that they were asked whether they agreed with or not. There is a group of people in this country who are trying to replace native-born Canadians with immigrants who agree with their political views. Okay, so the first part of that question, there are a group of people in this country who are trying to replace native-born Canadians. I mean, that would just be like the immigration department, right? Like the group of people is the politicians, the Liberals who are in power, who have drastically increased our immigration levels, trying to replace native-born Canadians with immigrants who agree with their political views. I mean, that's again up for interpretation. The part of the statement that it doesn't make sense with the headline, Harrison, is that it doesn't say anything about skin color, right? That the question doesn't include the word white or make any mention of a person's ethnicity or skin color. But then they sort of editorialize and extrapolate to mean that they must agree with the white replacement theory, which is the racist ideology that the Buffalo shooter used or subscribed to or pushed when he did his massacre. So they're taking a statement that is sort of vaguely worded, that has some truth to it, that many Canadians would relate to. And then they're saying, if you agree with this statement, then you must agree with this white terrorist. Like it's such a jump, and it's so dishonest. And again, all it does is turn Canadians against each other, because really, you're walking down the street, you think, wow, 1 in 3 Canadians is a crazy racist who supports white terrorism. Essentially, that's what they're saying. I mean, it's so wild. It's so irresponsible. The extent that they will go to win an election, to allow Justin Trudeau to push forth his agenda, like the fact that people in the media are going along with this, that this is being quoted, that this is being pushed, Harrison, I just find it like disappointing on so many levels, but also like truly, truly dangerous, really, really bad stuff here. What's your thought? What are your thoughts?
Completely. And the headline from the National Post is disgusting. There's no other way to describe it, really. It's Canada bashing, as I said, and the headline should read, millions of Canadians were tricked into agreeing to a question designed to convince other Canadians that they are racist. That's what it really should read, right, Candice? But of course, this was all cooked up from the start. We're going to trick Canadians. We're going to make sure that we get the result we need. We're going to make sure we get the headline we need, and everyone's going to come to our polling company and look at our data. It's horrible, and journalists should know better. Journalists should know better. The headline should not read millions of Canadians. When you make such an accusation like that, it should basically make it clear that it was 500 people who responded to a 1,500 person survey. That is not, you cannot tell me that is representative of the country. And when you do that, it's just you're engineering a result. You're creating a synthetic result that is designed to convince people, like you said, Candice, that your neighbor is a racist, that your neighbor is a conspiracy theorist. It's horrible stuff.